Welcome to the Manager Matt podcast show. The show is designed to give you solutions to your day-to-day management and leadership problems. It's hosted by Matthew Haddock, a frontline manager and leader with over 25 years of experience. If you're ready, then let's get on with the show.
Welcome to the Manager Matt podcast show, a weekly show designed to give you, managers and leaders, the best opportunity to improve yourself and others. With information from myself, Matthew Haddock, a frontline leader and manager with over 25 years of experience. Right, without any more delays, let's get on with this week's Friday Thought. Sorry is the hardest word. That's what they say, don't they? All the love songs always say, sorry is the hardest word. No one can say sorry like you. Well, maybe when you're in a heated conversation or a disagreement with your loved ones, and sorry can be one of the hardest things for people to say, you're probably getting trapped in this idea of, I'm not giving an inch. There's no way in the world I'm going to say sorry. You're never going to get me to apologise. Now, away from work, obviously you can see there's a lot of emotion. But let's not kid ourselves. There's a lot of emotion in work. People are there a lot of times, and people have invested a heck of energy and emotional intelligence to get as far as they can inside a business. So it's not surprising that people, being people and humans, have the same reaction, that they don't want to say sorry. At work, people get themselves into a point where they're entrenched. They'll never say they're wrong. They almost see it as a weakness. They feel like, as a leader and a manager, you should always be right. And the fact is that then if you're admitting you're wrong, then you're admitting that there is something wrong with your leadership or your management. But of course, A, that's not the case. You are always going to be learning. You are always going to be, as a leader, wrong at some point. You cannot know everything. And B, the right way to support your teams is to admit that you are wrong. Because there's times where you are definitely going to have a point where you are going to be going down the road and saying, I'm wrong. I don't know how that works. I need support. And the best way in your world is to have the right people around you, have the employees on the right path that you need to deliver the results you've been there for. So the empathy works this way. So what you'll end up doing is you start to say you're sorry, you start to say you're wrong. People will start to come around to the path of understanding that you're not perfect, and they can then admit when they're not perfect. Understanding that saying you are wrong will help others admit that they're wrong. It'll put their hands up when things go wrong. If you permanently and keep yourself entrenched in this fact that you're always right, then when things go wrong around you, people are more likely to hide it. Now, on the other side of the spectrum, I think they've all known these people, the people are always saying they're sorry. They almost start with it in the beginning of the day. The first minute of every day is, oh, I'm sorry, I'm really sorry. And at the end of the day, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't think that right, but I'm sorry. And you get to a point where these people are almost overcompensating. Now, that can be a psychological thing. You've been brought up in a certain way, and people then have a certain way of thinking, and you can see that in them. They can be introverts sometimes. Saying sorry is a natural defence. But saying sorry over the top can again undermine you as a manager. Everything in this world is around balance. The balance of saying too much and the balance of saying too little. If you never say you're sorry or you never say you're wrong, you're going to be in a hell of a lot of problems because the people around you are going to mirror exactly that. And on the reverse of the spectrum, if you're constantly apologising for everything you do, you'll soon find out that people don't respect you as much. They can put on you more, unfortunately, because they know that you'll do it. So I think what the best thing here is, how do you improve? How do you go into both camps regarding the fact of leadership and management and this word of sorry? Well, first thing to do, as in anything when you improve, is to audit where you are. So why not map the conversations in the day? I know it sounds a bit bizarre, but map it. Have a look at how many times do you say you're sorry? Are you overusing that word? Do you use it too much? And of course, on the reverse is, how many times do you not say it? Or how many times do you say, this is not my fault, this is somebody else's fault? Then do some self-reflection on those actions. Did you get it wrong? Should you have admitted and used that impact of that admitting you were wrong in as a positive? Should you be saying sorry more and admitting you're wrong? Or on the reverse, are you saying too much is sorry? Are you overdoing it? Remember this accountability as well. As a manager, you're going to be accountable for what you do, and it's important to be upfront with your team when it comes to accountability. So when you're in a room and you're in a point where something's gone wrong, be the first one in that room to say, I'm sorry, I've got this wrong. Not we, I've got this wrong. And then you can move forward. So what are the takeaways? Sorry, I'm wrong is a powerful word to use, but if you over-apologise, then you'll soon show too much weakness. And as everything in life, it's all about balance. Well, thanks for listening to this Friday Thought. If you've got any thoughts, please send me an email to managermattpodcast@gmail.com. I'd love to engage on new and old topics, and I'd love to hear what you think around the word sorry, overused or underused in management. Well, thanks for listening as ever, and that's it for this week's show. Goodbye.
Thank you so much for listening to this Manager Matt podcast. We hope you found it interesting, helpful and actionable. One last thing, please leave a quick review on iTunes or with your podcast provider, as it helps to spread the word of Manager Matt. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the podcast, and if you did like anything in particular, send an email to managermattpodcast@gmail.com or visit managermatt.co.uk for more content. Feedback is a gift, so let's keep giving. See you next week.